Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com, and in this video we are going to look at the impact that late payments and or collections have on your accounts over the time that those baddies are on your credit report. But first, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already. And if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So if you are someone that is in the unfortunate position that you have had some late payments on credit cards or other loans, or you've even gone into collections with those accounts, you might know that once those things get onto your credit reports, they are going to stay on your credit reports for 7 years until they finally fall off. And that's pretty distressing for some people to know that they make a mistake today and it's going to be 7 years before it is completely erased. Now, depending on where your credit score started from, having late payments on your account or having a collection on your account could have a significant impact on your credit score. Could drop you 50 points, could drop you even more than that potentially. However, when that 7 years goes up, you're usually going to see a significant increase in your credit score. The issue is, what about in the middle? So one of the things that FICO tells us, FICO, the originator of the credit scoring models, is that those late payments or those collections, those accounts in collection, are going to have less impact over time, and they're going to have less impact while they're still on your credit report. However, that is a little vague, so to me I always wanted to know, well, does that just mean that because you're going to have other stuff on your credit report, you're going to keep using credit, that other stuff is going to sort of dilute the, bad thing that you did, the collections or the late payments? Or is it because that over time, FICO is actually going to, give you a break on those things and not treat them as being as bad because some time has gone by? And so I asked FICO, specifically Tom Quinn at MyFICO, how this worked exactly. He was kind enough to answer a number of questions for me via email recently, and this was one of the topics that I touched on. So I said, FICO has said in the past that these collections or late payments will fade over time, but I wanted to know, is it because more information shows up in the credit report and that sort of dilutes the collections and late payments? Or is it because the FICO models themselves give it less weight with each passing year? And his response was, as the collection/delinquent information ages and no new collections or delinquent information is posted, less points are deducted from the score for that, quote, time since most recent delinquency information. Now that's about all I got out of him, but what that tells you is not only does new information on your credit report sort of help dilute that information that is bad, but the bad information itself over time is going to be not quite as bad because they aren't going to deduct as many points from your credit score over time. So every day that you don't make a late payment or you don't have an account go into collections, you're going to get a little better. That's probably a bit of an exaggeration. It's probably not every day, but maybe every month, and probably you might even want to think maybe every year. But when we're looking at a 7-year period before that's going to fall off, it feels a lot better to know that you could gain some points back, or at least not have as many points deducted with each passing year during that period than just thinking I had a late payment and now it is just going to hurt me for 7 years straight. So the answer to my original question is sort of both. Having new good information on your credit report does sort of dilute the bad information on your credit report, but probably more importantly, not doing any more bad stuff is going to help you, because having bad things hurts you, and the more recent those bad things are, the more they are going to hurt you. So yes, you can try to dilute them by doing good things, but when you really get rewarded is by not doing bad things. It's sort of like if a kid pees in the pool. Sure, you could add more water to that pool and that's going to be a little less gross knowing that someone peed in there because now there's more water to dilute it, but it's still there. However, over time, the chlorine's going to get to it and it's going to kind of, neutralize it a little bit. So it's not going to be quite as bad, but it's still having a little bit of impact until you totally drain that pool. Now, I thought that was a pretty awesome analogy, but just in case you didn't follow it, your late payments or collections would be like the kid peeing in the pool. Adding water to the pool would be like you getting good accounts that you handle appropriately in order to dilute the bad stuff. The chlorine doing its job would be sort of like the way that your baddies are going to not be as impactful over time, and then draining the pool is like when it falls off your credit report in 7 years. So bottom line, getting to that 7-year mark is when everything is going to go away, and that's when you're really going to see the bigger impact probably on your credit score if you have late payments or collections in particular. However, over time, FICO is going to deduct fewer of the points that they would have when those collections or late payments were more new, and so that means that your credit score can improve even during that period while those baddies are still on the report. That's it. Questions, comments, put them in the comments section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com, where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thank you for watching. Bye.